Hello guys, welcome to Programming Go. This is a tutorial in the series of Learn Java for Complete Beginners, and today we gonna look at if statement. In the last tutorial we look at for loop, and in the next tutorial we may look at how to get input from users. So let's start. Let me create a new Java project and name this tutorial 8. Click next and finish. And now I am going to create a new Java class and name this application as I always do and finish. For the main method I can type main control space and hit return. Let me put it in proper format and here. So we have already seen one or two example of condition statement. For example, if I type boolean, let name its condition equals 1 is smaller than 6, let's say. So if I run this, it will give true. Another possibility here is I can say let's 3 is greater than 6, and if I run this we get false. There is also not equals. I can use, let's say 3 is not equals 6, which is a true, so it will give us true. Remember, I use exclamatory sign here which represent not, and that is of course a test equality. Let's say 4 equals 4, and if I run this we get true. And if I say 4 is equals 3, we get false. Remember guys, I use double equal sign here. A single equal sign means assignment. It means you are setting something to something, and to test equalities you need to use double equals. Let use these condition in if statement, and if statement look like this. If the keyword which is the keyword here followed by two round bracket, and then you have two curly brackets that encode some code that you want to run if the condition is true. So for the condition, let's try if 4 equals 4, and let me run this out. Control space, let me output some value, some word here like this is true, and if I run this we get this is true. And if this isn't true, it will not gonna do anything. Or if I give a condition that isn't true, let's say 5 is not equals 5, which is a false condition, so nothing happens. Of course I can use variable here. Let's say int my int equals 20. I can say if my int is less than 30, which is it will print something like this out. This is true. And if I run this, it will print the value. Now often I want to take some kind of action. If the condition isn't true, I want to take a different action. So let's say if my int is less than 10, nothing happened because the condition is false, so it doesn't do a code. But if I put a else statement here, let me show you else. followed by curly bracket. Let me output something here. No, this is false. And if I run this will give this value. So I type the keyword else sysout. So if I say it is equals to something that is true, I get the first value, which is this. Else doesn't do anything. There is also a else if. For example, I can say else if my int is greater than 20, let's say, it will do this. Let me change my int to 15, and if I run this, nothing happens. Both are false. But if I set this smaller than 10, let's say 5, this condition is true, so this will print this, and this code doesn't work. What if I say else if is less than 20? Now both the conditions are true, and if I run this, we get the first thing executed, because compiler read this and this condition is true. It will not read what it will, or it will directly print this value. It's not gonna look what written next. It will directly print this. We can also use else if else here. Let me show you. We can also put else statement which gonna work if both of our condition is false. Let me sys out. Let's say this, none of the above. And if I change the value is my int is smaller than 10, let's change this, my int is greater than 20, and if I print 15 here, both the condition is false. 15 is not smaller than 10, 15 is also not greater than 20, so both the conditions are false, and compiler will execute this code. We mainly use if statement with user input, which we're going to learn in next tutorial. Till then, let me show you one more example. Let's say int loop equals 0, or I could say it anything. As we studied in last tutorial, while followed by round brackets, let's type some condition loop smaller than 5 and sys out, let's say looping. If I run this is an infinite code to make, let's say, loop plus plus. Now it will print loop 5 times. So what I want to show you here is to merge if with while. Let's say if loop equals 5, break the statement, and let me sys out something after that. Let's say running. And if I run this, here we got 5 value. Let's also put the value of loop plus loop to make it more clear. 5. So what happening here is it compiler read this and it say yes, 0 is smaller than 5. Now it will run this code. Now this condition is false, so it's not gonna read this. It will directly come here, loop. Now loop is increment to 1, so it will print this. Now it will run till loop is equals 5. Now loop is equals 5, this condition is false. Now loop is equal 5. Now this condition becomes true, and it will directly command compiler to run out of this code and reach here. So after 4, this condition is false, so it come out of this, will give command to compiler to come out of the code. So running is not print after looping 5. So guys, that's it for this tutorial. If you don't get the if statement, don't worry, you will get used to it in the upcoming tutorials. So guys, till then, keep learning. In the next tutorial, we may look at how to get input from user. So please do like, subscribe this channel. Till then, keep learning.